Mozart friends. We're going to read a book today by Eric Carle called The Tiny Seed. As you can see, there's a flower on the cover of the book, but it's called The Tiny Seed. What does a seed have to do with a flower? Well, we'll find out when we read the book, but basically all flowers start as seeds. So let's see how that happens, okay? Let's read the book. The Tiny Seed. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. Look at all those seeds blowing around. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? So which seed, looking here, is the smallest? It's that little guy right there. Do you see? That's the tiny seed. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. So you see that one seed that got too close to the sun, but there's the tiny seed still going. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on. But the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Can you find the tiny seed? It's so little it's hard to see. It's right there. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. Where's the tiny seed here? I'm having a hard time finding him too. Where is that tiny seed? Oh, it's right there. It's a little lower than all the other seeds. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Can you find the tiny seed? It's flying very low right there. Finally, the wind stops and the seed falls gently on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. So now the seeds have flown through the air and they've landed on the ground. Where's the tiny seed hiding? Let's see. Right here. Here's the tiny seed. The bird didn't even see it. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats the seed for his lunch. Oh, but the tiny seed lies very still and the mouse does not see it. So now they landed on the grass and the grass went away because it's winter. So they fell into the dirt and there's the tiny seed in the dirt. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full that they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. See? So if you look, you can see that's the seed, but something has grown out of it, a plant. First, they send roots down into the earth. The roots are right there. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. There's another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants. Oh, that poor little plant. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it starts to grow into a plant. You can see right there, there's the tiny seed and it's becoming a tiny little plant. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and, oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. Aww. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First, there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. Uh-oh. So you can see the neighbor plant is getting picked. The tiny plant's not even a flower yet. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. It is the tallest flower anyone has ever seen. It is a giant flower. Whoa, so there's the people. Look at how much bigger the flower is. That is a giant flower. And that came from the tiny seed. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pods open. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail away on the wind. So you see, the flower that grew from a seed grew more seeds, and now they're flying on the wind again, like that first tiny seed did. And that's the end. The tiny seed. That was a good book. It helps us learn a lot about how plants work. And now we're going to do some activities to help us see plants grow from a seed. See you then.